Hello, everyone. So as promised, like a week later, sorry, I wanted to show you guys how I set up all of this stuff in that video that I shared last week of how my students are accessing remote learning. So some of the tools that I'm using today are Google Slides. That's kind of my like home base. Um, I'm using Boom Learning to make Boom decks. I'm screenshotting things and I'm audio recording things. I'm not gonna like go into depth about how to do those things. This is not an intro to slides, this is not an intro to Boom Learning. If you want basics on that, there are a lot of videos that show you how to use slides, how to use all the different buttons and everything in Boom Learning. I'm just showing you how I have taken that and made structured work systems for my students to access the curriculum and their standards. So if you need a how-to on any of those other things, go look up a video and then come back and I will help you with putting it all together. So I'm going to start by making a new Google slideshow for my week. Usually I just copy the one from the week before, but I thought that I would very quickly show you guys what I do. So I just create a brand new slideshow. I'm going to insert a table. For my week. So I usually have 6 spots on my table because I have 4 centers and then choice time and our virtual classroom. Oh, so then I'm just going to add the titles of each of these. And the reason I use different table names when they're obviously not going to tables is because this is what it's called in our classroom. So I'm just using familiar language and familiar visuals with my students so that it's a little bit more expected and familiar for them. Next, I just add pictures, visuals for all of these things. I have symbol sticks through my district. You can use whatever visuals you use in your classroom, or you can look on Google Images or whatever. And I just copy and paste my images because it keeps them all the same size, and then I replace the images with what I actually want. And then I also usually enter the day of the week. And the information. All right, so this gives me my nice home base, and this is where I will link things once I have created them elsewhere. So I already have pulled up my lesson plans for the week and the activities that I need to create Monday's Boom Deck. So that is what I'm going to start with, and I am going to be making it for Red Table. Now, I do not make a brand new Boom Deck or a brand new slides every week. Once I have my base, I just do what's called cloning. I clone that deck in Boom Cards, and then I edit it and rename it from there. That's a whole lot faster, of course. But to show you guys how I set it up, I'm going to start with a new deck. Again, usually I would clone my deck and then just edit it from there to make it work. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is add my work system on this template card because I want it on every page, my work system and my arrows that link to the next and the previous card. So I have already made, just with like text boxes and with images, what I want my work system to look like. So I'm just going to screenshot that from Google Slides and insert it in there. All right, so again, this is just a text box that I filled in with red. This is my work system for the red table. So I am screenshotting just this little snippet. If you are on Windows, you can use, I guess, what's called a snippet tools. And then if you're on a Mac, you can just do the selective screenshot. So this is my red table, and these are the 3 things we do at Red Table, and I'm screenshotting them as 3 separate pictures because I want to be able to remove them as we go through our work system so they can put them in finished. So I'm screenshotting each of these individually. And then I'm going to put them into that first page of my Boom deck. And I'm just going to size that how I want. Again, this is going to be on every single page, so I don't want it to be huge because I want to be able to fit the activities in the center there. So from that, I'm just going to add images. First, we do vocabulary. And again, I change these activities semi-daily. Vocabulary, I might slightly change what I expect them to do with the vocabulary words every day. Our story changes weekly, and then the activity that I have them do with the story changes daily. Like if we're focusing on sight word identification that day, or vocabulary words, or picture ID, all those kinds of things. So again, I just add these in here. I size them to what I want them to be. Are they about the same size-ish? Yeah. Okay. So they're about the same size, they're about the same distance apart. And then I also want to put my arrows in here. I have already gotten those arrows, I think. It's fine, I'll just copy and paste it. So I just can get arrows from inserting a shape and then screenshotting them, because that's the easiest thing to do. So I want this to be my green arrow that lets me go forward. And then I'm going to copy and paste that and then just flip it. To make my red arrow to go back. And then again, I'm just going to screenshot these. Now you can set this all up on PowerPoint and screenshot like the entire slide or upload the entire slide. I just find it easier because I can move them if something doesn't work out the way I want it to. Or I can delete them as necessary. My green arrow, I'm going to put it on the very edge so that I have as much space as possible. Same with my red arrow. Okay, and then what I do for my decks to make them easier, I have started using this Flow Magic. Again, not going to explain all of the intricacies of Flow Magic. Look it up on a tutorial video if you would like to, but basically it just doesn't move forward on its own. You have to choose where the buttons are going to take it every time. So if you get a right answer, it doesn't automatically go to the next card. I liked that because on regular decks, my kids can't go back. So if they accidentally clicked too quickly ahead and they missed the instructions or they missed the video or whatever, they can't go back and watch it again once they've like moved forward. There's not really a way to go back if you already answered it, or if there's like no answer on the page. So I like Flow Magic because it allows my students to fully navigate everything and whatever, as much as they need to go back. All right, so these arrows I'm going to link. So I want this red arrow to link to the previous card. And I want this green arrow to link to the next card, but I only want it to be able to go to the next if they've answered correctly whatever's on the page. If there's not a correct answer on the page and all I had to do was watch a video or whatever, it will still work. That also, making it a conditional link lets, like when you go back and view your reports and it shows the kids' progress, if it's not a conditional link and there's no like activity or assignment on that page besides watching this video or listening to the story being read or whatever, it says that they're not, like it says their progress isn't complete, the little ring doesn't finish unless you use this as a conditional link. I don't really know why that is, but it's helpful. Okay, so this is all I'm putting on my template card because this is the only thing that is going to, for the most part, be on every card. My first card won't have this red arrow, and it'll change a little bit, but this just helps set things up. So now I'm going off of my template card onto my actual deck. If you change anything on this template card, as you know about Boom Learning, it'll change everything. So get off of that template card once you're done with that. On this first page, I'm actually going to delete this work system. Whoop. And it's going to tell me, am I sure I want to do that? And I do. Because I want to add a first then schedule before I even add the work system for Red Table. So I'm going to go back over here where I have all of my images already made. Again, text box, pictures from Symbol Sticks. I'm just going to screenshot it. And then I'm going to screenshot Red Table. The reason I don't screenshot it together is because at the end I have to remove Red Table, so it's easier. Shift happens right. And I'm going to put an image. Alright, and this is okay to be decently big. And then I'm going to put Red Table, because that's what we have first. Make sure it's the same-ish size. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is add the video that I have previously recorded saying that first we're going to do Red Table and then we're going to do that other thing to choice time. So I am going to go to my YouTube because you have to upload them from either YouTube or Vimeo. Vimeo. I don't know how to say that one. So I have them all on YouTube as unlisted videos because they're just random snippets of me saying, do this or try that or next question. So something that I have learned with Boom is the video link is not very cooperative if it's in a playlist. I have to come directly to my page and my list of videos and like search through them until I find the right one, which is slightly obnoxious, but it makes it work. So I just need to find my first Red Table, then choice. Here it is. And I'm just going to copy that link. And put it in Boom. And now I have this video that I'm going to make as big as I can fit here. All right, and then I'm going to click autoplay. It doesn't actually autoplay, but I figure one day maybe it will. So that's fine. All right, and then I'm going to delete this red arrow because this is the first page in the deck. There's nothing to go back to, so there's no like point in having that red arrow there. All right, so my first page is set up. Woo. All right, so I'm going to go to my next page because it's on the template card. This whole thing shows back up, which is great. So now I want my rules. Sorry, I'm not going to show you screenshotting that because I have to go find it, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to find my rules on here that I've already uploaded. Oh, there they were. There they were. Did you see them? There they are. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put my classroom rules right here. And then again, I have a pre-recorded video of me going over the work system and the classroom rules. All right, so I'm copying this link. Now inserting it to Boom. Yeesh. Ta-da! Again, I'm going to kind of make it as big as I can, but it doesn't need to be that big. And I'm going to ask it to play automatically, even though it won't. All right, and then I can go back and forward. Ta-da, that's the work system. All right, now I can actually get started on the activity. So the first set of activities is this vocabulary. So I already have my vocabulary words, the lesson, and everything pulled up. So I'm just going to go through and screenshot it. Last week, they were introduced to the vocabulary and they got the picture and the word. This week, I'm just doing the word. So that's all that I am going to take a screenshot of. Okay, and then I already have screenshots of these, and that's what I'm going to have them match their vocabulary activity to. So I've already uploaded those in here. All right, so I'm going to upload those screenshots I just took. And I'm just going to choose one. Right, I'm setting that up. I can make it nice and big. And then I'm going to enter the multi-pick. If you haven't used multi-pick, I definitely recommend looking it up and using it. What's nice is that, like I said, I don't change the vocabulary every day. So using the multi-pick allows me to have the answer choices change their order so that my kids don't just memorize they don't just memorize what order the answers are in. So I like that about the multi-pick. Why? What'd you do? What would you do? There we go. But something that I like about the multi-pick is that I can set it as fixed. And what's nice about the fixed setting, I'm just going to delete this, is that I can keep them a little bit more separated, which is helpful. All right, so I need shape. And then I'm just going to duplicate this. Because it's fixed, they don't resize. And again, that allows me to space more in between them because it's more like visually organized. And as we know, visual organization is important for our students. So it helps them see things a little bit like more clearly. Make these slightly smaller because there's a white edge on them. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to change both of these to wrong answers. And then I'm going to change, there we go. And size, awesome. Okay, now I'm just going to duplicate this slide and switch out, oh, I lied. I've got to add my video first. And then I'm just going to duplicate the slide a lot. Okay. All right, which word is that? Shape? Yes. Copy link address. Bam. Put that in. And this is me, a video of me just saying, this is the word shape. You see the word shape? Okay, find the word that matches shape. Autoplay, even though it doesn't. All right, so now that I have all of those pieces set up, I can duplicate this slide. And I'm going to need, well, I can just do it one at a time. So I'm now going to change shape to another vocabulary word. Change this to the correct answer. What vocabulary word did I just choose? I forgot. Same. Cool. I'm going to change these. Ta-da! And then I'm going to duplicate it. Oh, I got to change my video. Copy link address. Bam. So now I'm just going to do it for all of my vocabulary words, okay? All right, so I have now duplicated all of those and replaced all of the vocabulary words, the correct answer. Again, with these buttons, I have the correct answer first every time, but because I used the multi-pick and I have the randomized items button selected, the answers will be in a different order every time the kid does it, and that keeps it, a little bit fresh, a little less memory-based. So now that I have all of my vocabulary done, that section of the work system is finished. So I'm going to add a card. I am going to go back here and screenshot this finished pocket. Again, text box, filled in, image from Symbolsticks. And I'm going to add that in. I'm going to make that kind of big. There we go. All right, so I'm now going to make this piece. It's going to be draggable, and this is my drop zone. This goes right here, and then I'm going to upload a video of me telling them to put it in there. Let's see if I can find it quickly. I did find it quickly. Look at that. And this is just a video direction of me telling them to drag vocabulary into the finished pocket. This is a familiar routine, not clicking and dragging, but putting an activity in finish when it's done, something we do all day, every day. All right, so they drag vocabulary into finished. So now with my cards after this, boom, ta-da. All right, so you can just delete that picture and you don't need it anymore for the rest of your cards. So if you add a new card, make sure you delete that top picture because that activity is finished. They dragged it into finished. It shouldn't show up anymore as an effective representation of the work system. All right, so the next activity I have them do is to read our story. I already have our story pulled up for our lesson based on my lesson plans. So I'm going to make this page fit. And then I'm just going to go through and screenshot all the pages of the book. All right, now that I have screenshot all of those, I'm going to upload them and then plop them into this card one at a time.
There we go. Right, I'm going to make that as big as it will fit. So it looks like the line is kind of sizing it for me.
All right, so I'm also going to be reading to them on every page. So I haven't recorded anything yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and put this little sound button here. Woo! And here, I'm just going to put it over on this side because I know that it's out of the way. If I put it like right here by the page, it might block some things later on as I upload the image. So this is just easier for me to put it on this side. And I'm also going to go ahead and click auto play. Unlike the video, this does automatically play, which is really nice. So I have my sound card there. I have a page. I have my back and forth arrow. I have this empty. I'm just going to duplicate this page and then replace this picture and the sound piece for each of the pages. So I'm just going to hit duplicate. And if I double tap it, it tells me how many times I want to duplicate it. How many pages was this book? It was 12 pages. I'm going to duplicate it. I already have the title page, but whatever. We're just going to say 12 times. I might have to delete some. That's okay. All right. So now I have 12 of the title pages. So I'm just going to go through and replace the picture. They do not upload in order, so I pretty much always have to reorder it. which is fine. I'm just gonna go, oh look, that was one, in the order that they are on here. That's 3. And then I will reorder them, which is fine. All right, so now I'm going to record me reading these aloud, these pages aloud to my students. I use onlinevoicerecorder.com because I have found that it is really, really easy. So I just go in here and I start recording and I look over here. The Mixed Up Nest by Claire Repp, illustrated by Todd Gardner. And then I stop recording. And then I make it so it's only what I want to hear. By Todd Gardner. The Mixed Up Nest by Claire Repp. Illustrated by Todd Gardner. And then I'm going to name each of these audio files so that I know what they are. I'm just going to go through and record everything. Okay. Okay, so now that all of my sounds are recorded, I'm going to upload them into Boom Learning and then embed them on each slide. Boom Learning only lets the sound clip be, I don't know, like up to 16, 17-ish seconds. I haven't found the exact cutoff. So some of these I might have to re-record and read a little bit faster because the pages were kind of long. So just fair warning. All right, so that's the end of our story for this particular day because it's the first introduction to the story. When I make this for later days of the week, and we practice like picture identification, touch the title, touch the author, touch the sight word, whatever. I'm just going to duplicate the page I'm working on and just use a button and make it a transparent border and a transparent background. And then delete the text inside of it and just come over. So say we are identifying, I don't know, the word duck. I would just click this over duck. And I might duplicate it because duck is in here multiple times. And I would tell them to click on the word duck, and I would record that and replace the audio. So that's when I just clone this deck all over, and then I just tweak things a little bit as the week goes on. So that makes things a lot faster. All I have to do is tweak a bit, but I'm not doing that for this day. So I'm going to delete that for now. All right, so that is the end of reading our story. So now I don't want this. I don't want this, but I am going to put that finished pocket in here again. I don't remember how big it was on the other one. And I am going to make it a drop zone. I'm going to make this draggable, just like I did before. And then I'm going to insert my video telling them that our story is finished. I'm probably going to need that link again, but I will. All right. And when I have a new card, again, vocabulary, yes, is finished. story is finished, so I'm deleting both of those. So now we're on to our activity. So again, I have my lesson plans pulled up right here. We're going to be doing an activity of identifying the baby duck's features. So I'm just going to screenshot this worksheet. Get the copyright in there. And these are all from Unique Learning System. If your school does not subscribe to Unique Learning System, I'm sorry. It's where I get a lot of my lesson stuff from. And I am a big, big fan. Okay, and so now I'm going to copy all of these answer choices because that's what's going to be in the activity. All right, now I have all those screenshots. So I'm going to put an image in and upload them. If I were in my classroom presenting this activity to students, I would only give 2 answer choices at a time. That's how one way that I would like structure and adapt it for them. So that's how I'm going to set it up in Boom. You could have all the answers available at once. You could have half of them, whatever way that you would adapt that for your students, set it up that way. Ooh, too big. And I am just going to have them drag and drop the answers. So I'm going to use the multi-pick because I feel like it's the easiest thing to do. Okay, I'm going to make this draggable. And I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to make these closer. Whatever, guys. All right, and then I am also going to make these parts drop zones. I just like to make it no border, no background because there are already boxes on here. I do not want to compete. I'm going to make that a drop zone. Okay. Now I'm going to make this the correct answer. Ta-da! So the duck should have 2 legs. I'm going to put a sound here because I'm going to read the question to them. But again, haven't recorded that sound yet, so I will do it afterwards. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this so that I can have the other 4 answer choices. One more. All right. So for these duplicated ones, I'm going to take this drop zone, move it to here, and I'm going to change it to the next answer, which was this one, I think. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Wide bill. Then beak. So now I have all of these set up. So I'm going to record this. Okie doke. And now that is finished. So again, I'm deleting these because they're done. So it just has this activity. I'm going to add our finished pocket. I'm going to make it a drop zone. I'm going to make this draggable. I'm going to put them together. I'm going to insert the video of me telling them that the activity is finished. pretend that autoplay works. All right, and then what I want to do actually is, well, that's all right. Let's just insert it again. Too much work. All right, I'm gonna add a new card. And then I'm going to, oops, delete these things because I'm gonna insert that first then board again. Put red table on there, but this time I'm going to make red table draggable. I'm gonna put our finished pocket in there again so they can drag red table into finished. So that's gonna be my drop zone. And then I'm going to add my video of telling them that red table is finished and to put it in the finished pocket. No. Okay, and then this is the last slide of the presentation. So instead of this linking to next, it's actually going to terminate play. That means the deck will give you that thing of you're all done or whatever. So I'm terminating because otherwise they get stuck. There's no way for them to like close out the deck unless they like close the window. So that allows them to terminate play. Red table is finished. So that's kind of the basics. I like to also insert videos of me like telling them they're doing a good job and encouraging them. So what I'm going to do is go through and I'm going to add a video and then I'm just going to duplicate it a bunch of times and switch out the video so that I don't have to resize the video every time. Again, with the adding the videos, I only have to take the time to go through and add all of the encouraging videos when I make it the first time. After that, your videos are already going to be in there. If you have too many, just delete some. If you need to add a couple more, just duplicate and switch around the videos. But this is one of those things that like on the front end, it takes a second. But when you have already uploaded, when you've already set up your original deck, it's much easier to go through. Those are error correction. There we go. There, my encouragement. Look at that smiling face. All right. So there's my video. I'm going to make it as big as I can. I'm going to tell it to autoplay even though it doesn't. And I'm just going to insert that after every vocabulary word. You could do it after every couple, you know, sporadically, whatever. But I like encouraging them a lot. So I'm just going to duplicate and then switch it. And I have all of my videos numbered. So I like rotate through so they aren't getting like the same one every time. So I'm going to go through and add all of those. Okay, so that's my whole deck. And now I'm just going to go to the beginning and test it out and make sure all the buttons work, all the videos play, and all of that stuff. But it took me about an hour and a half to set up the whole thing. Again, I had already written my lesson plans. I'd already made some of the text boxes and downloaded the visuals and stuff. And then it only takes me maybe half an hour, maybe a little bit longer if I have to like figure out what I want an activity to look like, but to make and update it for the next day. And then again, I do all of these different tables. And then I link the hyperplay. So I'll show you how to do that as well. But so I do the red table in the group, and then my TA that ran green table in school, she is doing the decks for that. I kind of helped get them started. My other TA is she ran the blue table, so she's doing that every day. And so they have their own encouragement videos. They record their voices doing it, and they're able to help me do that, which has been phenomenal. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of how I set it up. And then I'm just going to name this deck. What is next Monday? The 25th. So this is 525 red table. And then I'm going to change the picture. Woo! To a picture of red table so I can see it. I'm going to private publish it because I do not have copyright to share all of these things publicly. And so now I can go into my library and get the hyperplay link. So I have my kids log into Bloom Learning so that I can get the data from it. You can also use the FastPen if like parents are having trouble logging in or anything like that. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back over here to the schedule. This is red table. So I'm going to click on the red table picture, click the link button, enter the hyperplay link. And then it's maybe overkill, but I like to link like literally everything in the vicinity that they could click on. And so that it's also like very clear that this is a link. So this is linked, this is linked. So no matter where they click on in the red table generic area, it will take them to that hyperplay link. I'm just going to copy the link and put it. And it prompts them to log in. Oops. And this is just my sample login. And then, ta-da, here's the red table. Takes a second to load, especially when I'm recording everything. It's a little bit slow. All right. So there's that. All right, so once I link all of these things, that's all I have to do. No, it's not. I lied. Once all of these things are linked and I have everything ready to go and I'm ready to share it with families, I hit the share button and I share it for anyone with the link so that parents and families don't have to log in to one other thing. So I copy that link, but when I share that link with them, I'm going to delete everything with this after this backslash for the edit. And I'm going to type in present. And this is the link I'm going to share with families because when they go to it, they are not in edit mode. They are automatically in this visual presentation. And all they can do is click on the link and follow it. So that's a nice way to make it one step easier for families. They click on it, it takes them to the link. I also add an audio usually into the presentation that says something to the effect of, click on which activity you want to complete. Something like that. So you just go to insert and you insert audio. You have to upload the audio to your drive though, so it's an extra step from Bloom Learning. So yeah, that's how I set all this up. Again, it took me a little over an hour and a half, but my computer was being a little bit slow because I was recording the screen. So I hope that is helpful in setting up your own structured work systems for activities for students in this remote learning setting. So, all right. Talk to you guys soon.